Good morning. Day 67 and Friday. Connor has been invited to be a part of a pickleball game with his one friend from school, and then it's a small degree of separation around these parts, so the other kid in the neighborhood goes to school with another friend of ours, and so that's how they all connected. And I'm really excited for Connor to go play pickleball. He's never played before, and I think he's gonna have just a great time, a new kind of fun experience. And so it's for an hour. We had an interesting conversation last night about what fulfillment really looks like. And so I'm going to be really honest about the fact that there's stories after stories after stories, or you look at like celebrities that have got all the money in the world, yet you see their behaviors and you know that they're not happy. So it's not the end result of the wealth that brought them happiness, which brings me to the conversation that we had in our house last night. And I did not grow up with, what we thought was financial security in the oil business ended up not being at all. And so my lens, while I'm tending to it, but this is my truth, but I'm tending to it, is that the price of oil collapsed and my parents lost everything, including their marriage. And so from a child's perspective, which I was at the time when it happened, it was the mid to late 80s. That is traumatic. I don't care which way you want to spin it. I am tired of acting like it was something I should just sweep under the rug and like sweep it under the rug. I mean, there's real problems out there, right? But that impacted me on like literally a cellular level, because at 42 years old, I can still see how that fear-based emotion shows up for me. Now, the life that I live today, thanks in so much part to my husband, who is like the most incredibly hard worker I've ever known. His work ethic, same. And the fact that we are a part of a family that is financially secure in every which way possible is a freedom and a security and safety unlike anything I've ever had access to. So it's important to remember to be grateful for those things that A, didn't come easy, but B, he works that hard for us and our family. So because it's not truly like mine, I have to work extra hard to show appreciation for it. Does that make sense? I'm trying to work through this. So like, for instance, you know what it's like? You know what it's like when you pay your water bill and the kids get in the shower and they let the water run for 1,800 hours. Or you clean the house, or someone does it for you. But you spend countless hours cleaning it yourself or paying someone to clean your house. And you come home with your family and you start living in your house, and all of a sudden it's a train wreck again within like half an hour. That starts to ping at you, right? Because I should just go light money on fire in the front yard. I would feel better about the fact that I got greater value out of that, or something, so when it's not yours, it's more difficult to appreciate it. There was that element of things. And so really, I want to give myself permission to notice and be more grateful and thankful verbally for the beautiful life that we have because of how hard he works. Now, I contribute too. I absolutely do. And I have a wonderful revenue stream that comes in. My company provides the benefits for our family, our health benefits. Huge. 401k, great benefits there too. So I don't want to necessarily minimize the contribution that I bring, but I do. and I feel like it's minimized in my household sometimes too. But is that Joe doing that to me, or is that a lack of security behavior pattern that lives in me? I'm gonna go with B. The other part of this, though, is, and I don't want to box men into this next part that I'm gonna say, I just think that their minds are wired differently. They are the caregivers, they are the keepers, they are the princes and kings of our home. Therefore, with that comes a great responsibility, and that they should be the providers. I'm speaking for them. But then through my training, it's come up multiple times, and the source of the training has worked with multi-million billionaires, been across the world, and worked with people from all different walks of life. But he says the ones that are the most tragic and most painful for him to work with are the ones who have all the wealth in the world and are so terribly unfulfilled. That, my friends, is suffering on a whole nother level, because you worked so hard to get to that level. You worked so hard to get to the top. And especially if you're a person who worked so hard to get to the top ranks of wherever it is that you could be, and you did it right. You know, you didn't step on people's toes. You didn't lie and deceive and cheat to get there. You did everything right, above and beyond in every opportunity. And then you're there and you're still like, this is it. We're not quite there, but we're there just enough to where it's interesting to watch me undo my behavior patterns. I'm not safe anymore. I'm secure. It's okay. It's okay to trust. It's okay to let people help you. It's okay. Then there's the other element of my dynamic in my family that wants to give him just a different perspective. He's gonna have to do it for himself. But and I used all the words I use, and then you talk to people who don't really talk like we talk, and then he's like, whatever. But saying things like, please be gentle with yourself. You need to be patient. It didn't take, you got here, it took you 40 years for us to have this conversation. You're not gonna turn overnight, but give yourself permission to know that there is a whole nother world of emotion and access to what life really is and what life really means outside of the size of your bank account. Now, of course, why wouldn't you? You know, if there was a maximum level of income, or if there was more income to make, you'd be naturally inclined to want to do that. But we are at such a precious time with the children being young and having experiences as a family and how we show up. Me too. Oh my God, the worst thing in the world I would want to do would be instill any kind of lack or fear or insecurity or instability in them. And as long as I am mindful of that and not obsessed about it, but mindful of, oh shoot, that thing that I just did, if there was a long-term impact for it to have, what would that be? And then hold myself accountable for it and just try not to show up like that anymore. First of all, stop showing up like that for myself. It's obviously not serving me. But when it's a behavior pattern, oftentimes you don't realize that you're even doing it, which is why it is great to have some sort of accountability in a friend or a partner, or maybe when you've studied long enough and you've trained long enough, the only accountability partner that you need is yourself. And now that is my finish line, which we all know there is no such thing as the finish line. But that's my North Star. I love them fiercely. They're such great gifts. Such great gifts. I want to appreciate that more, verbally and mentally and emotionally and spiritually, and if there's a fifth dimension, I'll take that too. But above all, accountability, that I hold myself accountable for the value that I place upon myself and the appreciation that I have for my gifts and skills and talents, and that I've got to stop expecting other people. I don't know. It's just easier to make sure that I've taken care of other people first. And there's definitely a shift right now, because that used to come out really naturally to me, and it's not at all today. At all. So there's progress. I can feel it. Wow, 10 minutes and 40 seconds. Cheers to an abundant day. I love you. I love me. I'll see you tomorrow.